February 26th is now in session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. And gentlemen, if you would please remove your hats. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear God, as always, we thank you for bringing us together safely this evening and for the many blessings we enjoy. We ask that you continue to comfort the Kalwinski family during their time of loss. Please guide the articulate and motivated student survivors in Parkland, Florida, as they move toward creating change. Open the hearts and minds of our lawmakers as they work in earnest toward sensible protection of our families and children. We thank you for our dedicated and committed first responders throughout our country who help protect us every day. Please guide those in need to help to find the support they need. We pray that you keep us all safe from harm as we go about our daily lives. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Your hair grow, huh?
Clerk Golick, roll call vote, please.
Markovich.
Here.
Spitali.
Here.
Kalwinski.
Here.
Torres.
Here.
Higgs. Emerson.
Here.
Warple.
Here.
Rakels.
Here.
Venez.
Here, let the record reflect 8 present, 1 absent. Moving on to reading of the minutes.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilman Spitali.
a motion to accept the minutes from February 12, 2018.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Spitali, second by Councilman Emerson, to accept the minutes of the February 12, 2018 meeting. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to approval of claims.
Madam Chair Lady,
Yes, Councilman.
move for approval of claims February 7th through February 21st, 2018 for council meeting February 26, 2018. Beginnings with claims dated 2/13/18 and ending with claims dated 2/21/18. Claim number 1008 through claim number 1308 for a total of $3,860,141.14. I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Markovich, second by Councilman Spitali, for approval of claims from February 7th through February 21st, 2018. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Clerk Golick, roll call vote, please.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Kalwinski.
Yes.
Torres.
Yes.
Higgs. Emerson.
Yes.
Warple.
Yes.
Rakels.
Yes.
Venez.
Yes. Claims pass, 8 in favor, 1 absent. Public hearings, there are none. Communications. Any communications? Any communications? Communications is now closed. Moving on to committee reports. There were no committees that met this evening, but I would like to announce the upcoming Community and Crime Watch meetings. Edison Community Watch will meet Wednesday, March 7th, 6:30 p.m. at Edison School. David Safstrom from the School City of Hammond, who is the safety specialist, will be the speaker that evening. Also, he will join me tomorrow morning on the Edison Community Watch Show on WJOB at 9 a.m. If you have any questions about the safety measures taken in our schools, that would be the time to ask. Edison Community Watch on the Road will meet Friday, March 9th, 1 p.m. at the Golden Manor Senior Apartments. Irving Community Watch will meet Friday, March 2nd, 9:15 a.m. at Irving School. And once again, David Safstrom will be the guest speaker then. Pulaski Park Neighborhood Association will meet Tuesday, February 27th at the American Legion on Goslin at 6:30 p.m. And the Whiting-Robertsdale Crime Watch will meet at Calumet College Thursday, March 8th at 6:30 p.m. If anyone has any questions about what's going on in your neighborhood, or if you would like to find out some safety measures for to protect your property and your family, I urge you to attend a community or Crime Watch meeting, because community is not just about me, it's about us. Committee reports is now closed. Moving on to ordinance, third and final reading, there are none. Introduction of ordinances.
Item A, ordinance 18-04, sponsored by Councilman Warple. An ordinance reclassifying certain lands in the city of Hammond for zoning purposes and amending ordinance number 8514, an ordinance establishing a zoning plan for the city of Hammond, including the regulations and maps to administer the zoning plan in order to provide for orderly growth and development within the city, all in accordance with the comprehensive land use plan as amended for property commonly known as 7527 Kennedy Avenue.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilman Warple.
move to pass in first, second reading, move to building and zoning with an intent to consider on March 12, 5:15 p.m.
Thank you, Councilman Warple. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Warple, second by Councilman Rakos for first and second reading of ordinance number 1804, referred to building and zoning. Is that correct, building and zoning?
Yes.
All righty. For a committee meeting, March 12th, 5:15 p.m., also with an intent to consider. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
President Vines, that concludes the introduction of ordinances.
Moving on to resolutions.
Item A, Resolution 18R-10, sponsored by Councilman Kalwinski. A resolution of the Hammond Common Council approving the development agreement among the City of Hammond, Indiana, the City of Hammond Redevelopment Commission, and Calumet College of St. Joseph Incorporated regarding development of a student housing facility for students at Calumet College of St. Joseph.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilman Kalwinski.
move for passage of 18R-10.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Kalwinski, second by Councilman Spitali for final passage of Resolution 18R10. Any discussion?
Madam President,
Yes, Councilman.
this resolution is an amendment that'll give the college more time to obtain financing to pursue dormitories for the college for their expansion and stabilization.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair Lady,
Yes, Councilman Markovich.
I'd like to have my name put down as a sponsor also.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Because this is final passage, I'm sorry. We do need to do roll call vote. Clerk Golick, roll call, please.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Kalwinski.
Yes.
Torres.
Yes.
Higgs. Emerson.
Yes.
Warple.
Yes.
Rakels.
Yes.
Vines.
Yes. 18R10 passes, 8 in favor, 1 absent. Thank you, Clerk Golick.
President Vines, that concludes the reading of the resolutions.
All righty, moving on to new and unfinished business. Any new and unfinished business? Any new and unfinished business? I would like to announce that Mayor's Night Out is coming up this Wednesday, February 28th at Purdue Northwest Alumni Hall, beginning at 6:30 p.m. This is an excellent opportunity for anyone who has any questions about what is going on in our city. You can ask our mayor and any of the department heads directly your concerns or questions. I would also like to announce that on Saturday, March 17th, the Prom Genie will be hosting its 5th annual Boutique Day. It will be at the Jean Shepherd Center. This is an opportunity for high school girls to get shoes, prom dresses, accessories, makeovers, hairstyles, all free of charge. That is Saturday, March 17th at the Jean Shepherd Center from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Any other new and unfinished business?
Madam President,
Yes, Councilman Warple.
if you're been questioned on it. If you're going east on 173rd Street and you get by the college there, you would turn left to go in all the way down the parking lot where the new building's going, and I believe it's on the 3rd floor?
Okay. Left at the light?
Yes, if
Okay.
you're going east,
Yes.
yes.
All righty, thank you. Any other new and unfinished business? Any other new and unfinished business? New and unfinished business is now closed. Moving on to public expression. The first speaker of the evening is Terry Siegel. If you would state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you. My name's Terry Stiegel. I'm a member of Steelworkers Local 1010, which is located at 7047 Grand Avenue, and we've adopted a resolution on DACA supporting it. And I'm here tonight to make a short presentation about hoping the council will consider supporting a DACA resolution to present to our people in Congress to make some legislation that's going to resolve this issue for us. But first thing I'd like to do is just make a real short, brief thing. Since this is Black History Month, we've also recognized a couple of gentlemen, Equal Cole and Robert Walker. They were 2 sanitation workers in February 1st, 1968. They were killed in an accident in a garbage truck in Memphis, Tennessee. During that situation, this led to basically a strike in Memphis over the sanitation workers, where 1,300 black workers refused the unsafe conditions and walked off the job about working conditions and pay. And after that February 1st death, they picked February 12th, 1968, Abraham Lincoln's birthday, to start their strike. And then on March 18th, 1968, they had a rally, and Martin Luther King came to town, and part of that rally was dignifying the representation of the dignity of all labor, and address the issues of healthcare, jobs, housing, education, and other human needs. On March 28th, 1968, they had another march in town, and that one turned violent, and a 16-year-old boy got killed by the police in Memphis, and Dr. King felt compelled to go back there and represent the interests of these workers in a peaceful mass march. And he went back there to Memphis, Tennessee, and on the tragic day of April 4th, 1968, Dr. King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. And I think those are things that we need to kind of recognize, things that have happened in our country, what kind of country we want to have, and how we want to move forward as a country, and create an atmosphere to where everybody is welcome. And I think that leads into the DACA situation. These folks are under a lot of duress right now, and they really need our support. They've established themselves in the communities here as far as their employment. They're part of our economy. They're part of our schools. The whole aspect of it is overwhelming for these people, and they're scared, and rightfully so. I would be scared too. So I think it's very important that we support the resolution on DACA and do what we can to support this. And I'd just like to say that this is a resolution to support DACA, and this doesn't affect anything as far as federal grants or anything like that. It's just like lobbying Congress to pass a piece of legislation, which we still have the right in this country to do that. It hasn't become Russia yet, but it's close. So these are the things we want to make sure it doesn't happen in this country, that we can go and support these issues that are right for the American people. And sometimes you have to fight for freedom, and this is one of those aspects of that we need to do. So we'd appreciate your support in supporting the DACA resolution. We want to relieve your concerns that there might be some impunity against the city or anything like that. This is just a resolution that supports the legislation that Nancy Pelosi, who spent 8 hours on the House floor speaking on DACA, 8 hours, speaking to this issue, to the American people, trying to convince people that we need to go in the right direction and do the right thing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The final speaker of the evening is George Stoya. Yes, it is. Mr. Cheeks, you did not sign up to speak.
Yes, ma'am, I
And,
did.
and quite, I do
Yes,
not
ma'am, I did.
see.
Let him speak.
Well, then turn the light off.
This is a camera.
I don't care.
It's
Turn the
called
light
the
off,
law.
otherwise you're not going to
You
speak.
can't stop me from speaking.
Well, turn the
Did not
light off
legally
then.
stop- No, this is.
Sir, that is very annoying.
that-
Have a
how many times
seat.
already ran?
George
I'm
Stoya, you're next.
Madam Chair Lady, if I can make a recommendation, let him speak, but have somebody else hold the light off to the side facing so it's not blinding anybody.
Right now, we're waiting for George Stoya, correct?
No, Alvin Cheeks is on here. I couldn't read his handwriting.
All the fingers in my hand are broke, and it's nothing that I can do about my hands.
Doesn't make any difference, the light shining in our eyes.
Then
Go
how many
ahead,
times
sir.
has
You
ran?
have 3 minutes. State
Okay,
your
well,
name and
let-
address for the record.
6022 Calumet Avenue, Lake Group Limited. I'm here today on behalf of Bally Casino Las Vegas to thank the Golick family for all the stuff that they've done. You know, I didn't get an opportunity to thank Mr. Golick and his family. I have some gifts for you guys from the Blackhawks. You know, your grandson, he loved the Blackhawks, and we made sure of that. Also, from the Clayton Potter Foundation, we're going to continue the things that she done during the summer and make sure that the kids in the community receive all the things that they should. And, you know, one of the hardest things I had to do was, you know, tell my son about Ms. Golick. She made sure for trick or treat, any events that we had in our neighborhood, she made sure that everybody was well taken care of. So I'm here because of that. Great friend of ours, Steve Wynn, he told me to send his love from just so many people. I was compelled, been on vacation for a while, taking a break from all the action, but I see some things haven't changed. So I really appreciate you, Mr. Golick, and I appreciate the love that I get from this council. My vacation is over, so I will be back. And, you know, I got my start in the precinct organization in 511. So Ms. Golick was always a champion for every cause I ever had. So I felt compelled to come out. You know, I didn't find out when everybody else did because I was away. But I just, man, Thank you, Mr. Golick. And, you know, she always got mad at me because I used to always go out and have our team shovel his daughter's snow, and people would complain about how was they snowed down first. That was always us. That was always a thing for her to take care of those who could not speak out for themselves. So my voice and my compel will be an honor for Ms. Golick and the work that she done in the community. We're going to continue that no matter what, and our work that we done at this council, and that's going to continue. So much love, much respect. Al Gov from AXG Corporation and all our teams, really thank you and your family, Mr. Golick. And she always made sure we had things, and she didn't like talking about it or anything like that. So I'm going to make sure that her love and her grace continue in our community, and I'll ensure the help of Valley Casinos and Al Gull and all of our other associates, you know, Ruby Ridge Foundation. And it's still unreal for me, but I just wanted you to know, Mr. Golick, that was my reasoning for coming here, and it's a long travel here, being on vacation to come back. But I just really thank you. And I'm gonna close in saying, you know, we worked hard for the Sunshine Laws, and I just want to thank the Hammond Times for always supporting. My time is up. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming out.
Final speaker is George Stoya.
George Stoyer, Robertsdale. I just want to say that I come to you with a heavy heart because I don't really want to say what I'm going to say. But with respect to the DACA stuff, I'm all for DACA. I think the people that are subjected to it under the Trump administration are under, you know, an enormous amount of stress. The problem is, I don't believe idealism about it is the answer. I mean, it makes for great tragedy, and it makes for great what do you call it, idealism and martyrdom, political martyrdom. But it requires a political solution. And short of the legal one, for example, we learned today that the Supreme Court put a stay or refused to hear the Trump administration's appeal of a ruling that shut down the DACA deadline. I believe it was March or something, if I read it correctly. I just skimmed it. But again, we're getting a lot of pressure from idealists, purists that think, oh, because the cause is just, that it's a winner. It just doesn't play out that way in the politics of the United States of America, or I dare say any place, maybe over time. But if we're talking about immediate results, I must, you know, I ask that you guys take heed of what the mayor here has spoken about, and the idea of putting a target on us, how we're outgunned in this state as a Democratic bastion here in Hammond. And it's just, if you're gonna fight, then you gotta fight strategically. You just can't go in there and become cannon fodder, political cannon fodder. So I just caution you guys.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor?
Madam President, do you
You
mind if
didn't sign in.
I did not, and I appreciate it. I just want to go on the record, because I know you guys are taking a lot of heat for the DACA issue and where we stand as a city, and I just want to say where I stand. I think that we're wise in keeping out of this debate, because there's a lot of problems in America currently. There's a problem with guns. There's a problem with immigration. I think we have a general problem getting along and working together like we used to do in the old days. But the gun problem is obviously glaring at us right now because of the tragedy that happened on Valentine's Day. The DACA issue is hugely important to many people in our city. We acknowledge that. But the city of Hammond has so many challenges on its plate and so much reliance upon the federal government's money. And I'd like to point out the score. State of Indiana has over a two-thirds supermajority in the General Assembly. They have 41 out of 50 votes in the Indiana Senate. They have 71 out of 100 votes in the Indiana House. And our Republican governor is a close ally of the president and the vice president. Congress of the United States is solidly Republican. The president of the United States is a solid Republican. Cities like Hammond and Indiana are a rarity, and they're trying to get rid of us, Democratic areas. We rely on millions of dollars of federal funds every year. Every year, the General Assembly could take our gaming money and we're fighting to keep it. Every year, the General Assembly is trying to take more of our money. We lost $800,000 on special legislation that was acknowledged by the Indiana Court of Appeals as special legislation just to punish us. Just a couple years ago, we lost $800,000. And I feel horrible about what's going on. One of the great things about our city is we are diverse. I love our diversity. But if we start putting a target on our back, next year, I don't know where the immigration is going to be, but we're going to be in the General Assembly wondering what they're going to take. And that's the way they work. That's how it works. We'll put our target on our back if we get involved in issues like this. We couldn't affect the debate even if we wanted to. If we passed a DACA resolution, we're going to send a letter according to that resolution to the President of the United States, the Indiana Senate, the U.S. Senate, the U.S. House, the Indiana Senate, the Indiana House, and the governor, giving a big stiff middle finger. You think that's not going to come back and haunt us? It will. And I'm on the record. I try to keep my politics separate from my policy. We run the city of Hammond. You guys and me run the city of Hammond. We have bigger responsibilities that we have to think about. That's where I'm coming from. Do I personally support the DACA resolution? Absolutely. Do I think what's going on with the Dreamers is abhorrent? Absolutely. It's horrible what's going on. But I have a city to run and millions of dollars at stake every single year in the Indiana General Assembly, and they will take it from us. They've done it before, and they will do it again. So I don't want anybody in this audience to think I'm shirking my responsibility because the council's taking all the heat right now. I stand with you. And if we're going to start taking positions on national issues, I beg to say, let's talk about guns then too, because that's a glaring problem in our society as well, and that will alienate people just as much as a DACA resolution. But why would we start, and we could talk about abortion next. We could talk about a lot of things that we have no control over. We have no control over the DACA debate. All this energy that's going into attending the Hammond City Council meetings and intimidate us should be going towards Congressman Visclosky and Senator Todd Young and, focusing on where they could actually make a difference. Or Senator Joe Donnelly, who I know supports the Dreamers. But that's where the focus should be, not on the Hammond City Council, not on the Hammond Mayor. We stand with you, but we have a city to run. That's my number one responsibility when I took the oath. That's where I'm coming from, and I want people to know I sympathize. I think it's horrible what's going on, but I think the Hammond Council made the wise decision 2 weeks ago, and you made the wise decision today, and I appreciate it as your mayor.
Do we have to reopen to say something? Do we have to go back to new and unfinished?
Discussion
to
is
say-
now closed. Motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilman Spitali.
Second.
Second by Councilman Emerson. To adjourn this meeting, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
She's trying to stop me from speaking.
Have a good evening.
She can't stop